Hi everyone, it's Diane with Boho Stamper. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming and joining me for a little bit of paper crafting fun today. This is Thursday afternoon that I am doing my video. So I hope you're getting ready for a nice weekend by the time I have this uploaded and ready to share. So today I am going to make a card that uses the spotlight technique, and this particular card is actually an old stamp set that I had from Stampin' Up. This is Ornate Thanks, and so the one that I am using for today is actually, this is probably older too. It's been sitting in my cart and I don't think that I ever used it. This is from Pink Fresh Studios, and it is Spring Flowers. Just in case you have this or are looking to get it. I'm going to use the Rose Cluster stamp. And I do already have that stamped onto my basic white cardstock. And I was kind of working today on some Get Well cards. And when I was at the SSA tour in Monroeville here a couple months ago, or I guess it's only been about a month ago, I did find some Get Well and Speedy Recovery type stamps from Rubber Cottage, and so I picked those up. As much as I love my Stampin' Up stamps, I don't always find a lot of Get Well wishes in there. So I particularly was looking for those when I went to that. I have a piece of, this is, I think this is probably Watermelon Wonder. This is an old color. I just pulled out a piece of cardstock from my shelf that I thought would be pretty for this card. Stamped my inside message with one of those Rubber Cottage, which is new to me. Rubber Cottage, made in the USA. It doesn't say where. Oh, excuse me. I think the heat's making me a little drowsy here. It's warm up to here. So you could look up rubbercottage.com, and I thought maybe it said on there where they were made out of. Anyway, I like that little saying, take care of yourself, whatever you do, and remember that somebody cares about you. So I took that Pink Fresh Studios stamp and stamped it in VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink just on a piece of basic white cardstock. And I do believe that this is 4 1/4. No. Oh my goodness, where'd my trimmers go? I have 2 trimmers, and there is not one beside me, and I just used them. Oh, they're both behind me, that's why. I had to move it because I couldn't get my chair out. 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. So I'm going to layer that right onto my card base. I'm not going to put a mat under it. I don't think. I could change my mind. I took another piece of basic white and stamped that same image. Now I have to decide what I'm going to want my focal point to be, my spotlight, and that other card that I had made, I used just the basic circle dies. This image is a bit smaller than that Ornate Thanks one was, so I think I'm going to have to go down in size. I don't know if I want to use my stitch circles. And there are some really nice sets in the new Stampin' Up catalog that have some basic shapes in there that would be wonderful for this technique. That might be a little too small, but I have to think if I'm going to put a color mat behind it like my original card was. And I don't know that I'm going to. This one I've also, this one was also adhered with dimensionals so that it pops up a little bit. I don't know that I want to put the map behind it. I want it to look like it is part of that picture, so I guess I can try the bigger one. Do I want to use stitched shapes or plain? I think I'm going to do a plain outline in that case. Oh, that's pretty right there, huh? Yeah. Right there. And really, I'm just doing this because you don't have to color the whole thing in, and we need to decide we need to decide what part of the card itself is going to have the color on it. So I think I kind of like it there. It's a little bit of that top rose, a little bit of leaf. No, I'm not, because it does. Well, you know what? Let's just die cut it. I was going to color it first and then die cut it, but it doesn't really matter. Now that I know what part of the card I want to highlight, I can just cut that out. First I have to turn my die the right way up. So I was already doing. Getting ready for school to start. For me, that's nothing more than I do any other day. My sons are grown and working, and it's just hard to believe that the kids in the neighborhood are going to be going pretty soon here, and I won't see them outside playing so much. It's a little bit sad. Summer seems to have flown by yet once again, doesn't it always? I think this might be different if we had a busy background, and by cutting this shape out, we weren't going to be able to tell what the images were. But we can fix that by just leaving it sit in here. You know, I mean, I can tell what these designs are, but maybe with a larger pattern, that might not be the case. And let me see, what did I take out? I took out some of my blends here. I've got Pale Papaya, Flirty Flamingo, Poppy Parade, and Old Olive for the leaves. And I didn't know I was hoarse until I started this because, of course, there's not really anybody here with me too much in the daytime other than the pups, and they've been kind of quiet today. Hubby's traveling for work, so I don't have him to talk to. Yeah, so this is a nice technique, especially if you have a very large design and you really don't want to take the time to color that whole design in. Just pick out the little portion, like we just did, that you want to be your highlight or your focal point, your spotlight, and worry about coloring that in. Oops, dark. This isn't going to take too awfully long here because there won't be a whole lot to color. We have some leaves down here. A little dark to that. A bit dark on the base of that rose. Oh, that was the light. I'm a ding-dong. Thank goodness I didn't get the whole thing. Anybody have any exciting plans for the weekend? We actually do not have plans for anything exciting. I think that tomorrow I want to try to work on cleaning some of the windows that I had started in the spring. And then of course it got busy, and I didn't go back and finish the one bedroom. So I think that's going to be my big one for tomorrow. So let me see. This is going to be on the darker background. So let's do the little one. No, let's do the big one with the Poppy Parade. A reminder when you're using your blends, these are alcohol markers. And so I'm actually doing this on thick basic white. It didn't really matter depending on how you're going to put your card together. This is going to show through on the back. So if you are using alcohol markers directly on the front of your card, when you open your card, you're going to see the ink inside. So you'd want to do that coloring on a panel and then add it to the front of your card just to protect it. The thick basic white handles that ink a little bit better. You're still going to want to be careful and not color directly on. I'm just going over the lines where the artist has drawn those on our stamped image with my dark, and then just coloring over again with my light to blend those in a little bit. I think we just have this one small flower down here. Oh, there's a little piece of this one too. Okay, I think I'll do orange, and do this kind of pinky, the Flirty Flamingo. Oh, and you know what? There's some of these. We'll do these in the Flirty Flamingo so that it all ties together. Yes, I had some errands to run this morning. I had to run and get my groceries and threw some laundry in and just fun little things. Watered ferns outside. So I thought, I better get up here and do this video before, because if you, I guess I should have apologized for last week. I didn't do a video last Friday. I did mention that on my Monday video, but for anyone who maybe doesn't follow me on Mondays. So I apologize for that. I had a last minute email from the one arts and education center. I had volunteered to help out with the Children's Art Festival last Friday. And I didn't hear from anybody. And I actually had taken my car in to get inspected and didn't even have my car. And got an email that they could use me at noon at the tie-dye tables. So I asked my son Thursday afternoon if I could take him to work and keep his car Friday. And then I just went out and helped at that tie-dye table. And I didn't have the time to get a video done. So if you are looking for that, it is on my Monday card. What did I do? What did I do? I can't even remember. Okay, so there's the little circle that I colored. I can take that back away. Really, I didn't even need it because we're able to tell what all of those flowers were. What card did I do on Monday? Oh, yeah, that's right. If you didn't watch Monday's video, you may want to go back and visit that. We did an iris fold. And that came out really pretty. I'm very happy with that. And I actually still have the pattern laying out. I wanted to try to do the triangular one. So now that we have our spotlight colored in, I have my black and white stamped image again. And now I need to line this up with the flowers underneath it. And see, this is what I mean about the back when you use alcohol ink. So we would never want to color onto our card front directly. So I am going to adhere this directly on the front. Okay, I'm going to use some Tombow because we know that's a little bit, that stays wet just a little longer than the art glitter glue. So if I mess this up when I go to line it up, I have a second or two to twist it around. Try to get it right. Get it all right? Oh, twist, twist, twist. Ow, ow. Same stamp, gotta fit. Same thing, same picture. Oh, it covers those all completely, that's why. I'm thinking that. There we go. That's better. Isn't that pretty? Oh, me and my lights, huh? Me and my lights. So it looks like you've colored part of the stamped image below, but really there's that little circle on there. I like it. I think it's pretty. Okay, then we're going to, I get a little glue there I might have to take off. Trying to get the glue off my fingers. As you know me, I'm like a child with Elmer's paste, except that I don't eat it. I do tend to get it everywhere though. Get my inside on here. And then you can use either a very fine tip glue, like the point that we do have on my art glitter glue bottle here, or I'm going to use for this is a glue pen. It's not this one. This is Tombow. One of them I actually have a mark on it because I kept getting it mixed up with my regular ballpoint pen. And every time I'd pull the cap off, I'd be like, oh wait, I can't write with that. Okay, so I need this with a scrap paper. Let's use one of those patterns from last week. And I think I'm going to try some of my Dazzling Diamonds. I think I'm just going to add, this just comes out like regular ink. Oh, I was going to grab a little spoon, I forgot. I think I have a popsicle stick that might work. So then I don't have to, oh geez, I should have tried to open that first. just did. I told you I'm terrible. I'm like a 3-year-old. That's okay. That's why I put paper under it, because I knew I would somehow create a mess with it. Come on, glue. Very hard to see when I don't have any light shining on here. These are so pretty, and I don't ever use glitter. Oh, but see, that's stuck where I had that glue. But I think that the glue pen helps me to keep this in the areas that I want it, and makes it a little easier to use. Wish it would come out a little bit faster, but then if it came out fast, I'd be saying, oh, I thought with this pen it would come out slow. It would come out slow. Let me see if I can get that little bit of glue off down here without messing up my picture. Come on, eraser, do your thing. Very good. Boy, you're a lifesaver. These little glue erasers, I got mine on Amazon, and it's just an adhesive eraser, and it really does help when you get a little bit of extra glue that you don't want. I don't think this glue pen stays wet very long, which is why I'm doing little sections and adding the dazzling diamonds. I don't want it to get really dry before I get the little glitters on there. You could use your Wink of Stella also if you wanted to add some pretty sparkly shimmers. I don't know why, I just felt like adding, I think I'm starting to get ready to do Halloween cards. And was that stuff that I got when I was at the SSA tour? Those little glitter pouches that I thought would be pretty for holiday cards. I had to move a couple of those today when I was looking for something. I was like, oh, I want to get some glitters. That should be plenty. And can you see just a little bit? And we can put our leftover back into the plot. I guess it was a good idea to plan on cleaning my craft room tomorrow, not today, because we know there's going to be shimmers on stuff everywhere. Tighten that back up and add our card front. Ooh, cover my glue. There it is. Let's see, where did I put my tape runner? Before I forget too, I just want to let you be aware that I'm also planning on closing my Etsy shop. I've had visits on there, I see, but I've not had a lot of activity. And to be quite honest, I'm sure it's because of the prices. But I think when people look at it, they don't take into consideration that I'm offering free shipping and that I also have a listing fee and a seller's fee that I have to pay every time I sell anything. So I think that I finally have given up on Etsy, and my stuff is selling well enough down at the little shop in Valant where I have, I don't like that one there, where I have my cards. And so I think I'd rather just keep taking them there. I mean, I pay for my artist setup there as well, but at least those seem to be getting out more into the public, and I'm doing better in sales there. So if you happen to go looking for something on my Etsy shop and you see that it's no longer open, that I am planning that. That's probably going to happen between tonight and tomorrow at some point. So there we have it, our little spotlight card. Now remember, you can do this with your spotlight section adhered directly to your card stamped image, or you can add a background panel to it and add it with dimensionals. I could have lifted this up with dimensionals as well. So you have a couple of different options here. But it just saves you a few minutes in case you want to get something done kind of quick and you don't really want to color in the whole image. And like I said, this is great if you have one of those full background stamps and you only want to maybe color part of it. It's a great way to do it. So everybody have a wonderful weekend. Stop back on Monday and we will create something else. I don't know what we're going to do yet. I haven't made up my mind. I have to think about that. But thanks for being with me. Bye, everyone.